Welcome, welcome, welcome to our Peek into Pink. It is July 1st, and we are so excited to be with you. Thank you for tuning in. If you are tuning in just to support your Mary Kay Beauty Consultant and support her with her training, we are so grateful. And if you are here today to learn a little bit more about our Mary Kay opportunity, we hope that you will discover something that will make you more curious and excited to join. My name is Mari, and I'm an independent sales director with Mary Kay, and I have here with me today one of our amazing beauty consultants, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Thank you, Mari. My name is Rocky Eguskiza, and I'm super excited to be a new beauty consultant with Mary Kay.
Yeah, and we're going to be talking today just like a casual conversation. One of the things that I love about this format is that you'll really get to learn and hear more about the Mary Kay opportunity from the perspective of a consultant. I'll tell you a little bit about my business and how long I've been building my business a little later, and we will be taking questions as well. And so welcome to our Peek into Pink, and we want to know who you are. So who invited you to be on with us? We want you to add that to the chat, to the comments. Let us know. Throughout our time together, you can also ask questions, and we can go ahead and answer those questions live while we're on here. And so that's one of the best things about being live together, that we can answer your questions as you come on. And so let us know who invited you. Let us know who your Mary Kay Beauty Consultant is. And again, we're just so excited to have you here. So we're gonna just dive right into our interview. And I'm just so grateful that Rocky said yes to being our guest today. And so Rocky, I would love, for our guests to know, for anybody watching, I know that obviously you have a very full life outside of Mary Kay. And so can you just tell them a little bit about your career and your family and your life outside of Mary Kay?
Sure, Mari. So first and foremost, I'm the mother of a gorgeous 2.5-year-old that has been a huge blessing to our family. I'm also very blessed because my better half is an incredible father, who is also now using all of the Mary Kay Men products to support me. So that's important. But I've also enjoyed an incredibly successful career in corporate, in government, in nonprofit, in media, and in sports. So my career spans probably over 27 years or close to 30 years. I've worked for some of the top brands like AT&T, Ford Motor Company, AARP, NBC, and Telemundo. And I'm currently working in sports. I work for the Miami Marlins, and I oversee the Miami Marlins Foundation. So I've been very blessed. I've had a lot of incredible opportunities. And now I'm excited that in addition to my full-time job, that I get to also be a Mary Kay Beauty Consultant and help others. I think helping others is sort of that common thread across all of the jobs I've had. They've all had to do with community and service, and I look at this Mary Kay opportunity in a similar way to help others, build their confidence and continue to grow and learn as well.
I love that. And we actually met like in a kind of a previous life through when I worked full-time for Chili, which is a nonprofit, and Rocky was the founder of Chili. And so it's just kind of amazing how life just kind of wraps up with a bow and brings you full circle. And so I love that. One of the things that I love about Mary Kay is that it brings women together of all backgrounds. And, I think for a lot of people, they see, they see this kind of opportunity and they wonder, how can I fit this in? So I'd love for you to share a little bit about, just even in this month, because you started your business May 31st, how you've been able to fit this in, into the nooks and crannies of your life.
So it's been interesting, Mari, because I was first introduced, to Mary Kay products, maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago top, at an event that I went, a party that a friend hosted, and Mari, you were the beauty consultant that was there talking to us about the products, and it was just a fun afternoon. We had some hors d'oeuvres, we talked, we pampered ourselves a little bit, so it was fun, and it was really the first time I was introduced to the product, and bought at the time the CC cream and the microdermabrasion set, which I loved both of them. And then periodically, you keeping in touch, would let me know about a sale or something going on, and I, reorder the product or buy something. It's funny because at that event, at the end of the activity, you mentioned the opportunity to potentially, be your own beauty consultant. And I have to tell you, it crossed my mind then. And as I think about it now, I think back and think, wow, I wish I would have told you then that I was potentially interested, and even just asked more to learn more about the opportunity, but I didn't. I had that sort of conversation with myself in my head where I said, am I going to have the time? I'm too busy, the baby. Can I take something else on? Do I really want to pester people and ask them to like buy a product? And I also, and I'm embarrassed to say it now, but I had these negative perceptions really about network marketing organizations or what that was like, right? And I convinced, so I thought about it, and then I instantly kind of convinced myself, not the right time, not for me. And I didn't say anything to you. I wish I would have, because you would have followed up with me and maybe I would have done this sooner, but things happen when they're supposed to happen.
I believe that.
And life is a journey. So fast forward, you invited me to a pop-up shop that you were doing. I joined the pop-up shop. I bought a couple things, and at the end, you talked about this incredible $30 opportunity to join as a beauty consultant. And we're really going through a really interesting time. We're living through a global pandemic. It's changed our life completely. I kind of participated in the pop-up shop to do something different because it can get boring when you're at home and don't have the opportunity to do a lot of the things we used to do, like go out to eat or
yeah,
so it was kind of interesting because when you mentioned the $30 offer, I honestly thought, like, what do I have to lose, right? I can invest $30 and see what happens, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Give it a try and see. And then it really made me think about the time we're living. Businesses are furloughing employees.
Yeah.
Those employees that are staying with businesses, many are having pay cuts. Yeah. And I just kind of thought anything can happen, and I thought as women really need to think about having various sources of income and protecting ourselves, because something can happen. We can, be furloughed, you could be laid off, you could get a pay cut. There's so much uncertainty that we're living. And I thought, let me give this a try. I'm investing $30. I'm investing $30 in myself, in an opportunity that I can build and grow. And we'll see what comes of it, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'm not, at least I gave it a try, and we'll see. But it's really been incredible this last month because it's surpassed all of my expectations.
Right.
And I perhaps part of that is I didn't set very high expectations. That I thought, all right, if I lose $30, I lose $30. But truthfully, I've really been impressed on so many levels. And a lot of things, Mari, I probably haven't even shared with you, this openly or honestly, right? Like, I'm really impressed with the values of the organization: faith, family, and then career. And honestly, I've had those out of whack in different parts of my life. And sometimes things happen in life that sort of make you, take a step back and rethink and reanalyze and sort of restore, right? And obviously, with everything going on with the pandemic, I think a lot of us have taken sort of a pause and really thought about, where are we in our lives? What makes sense? What do we want for our futures? And how are we going to build that, right? And we've stopped and, spent a lot more time with our family.
Right. And we've had to do that.
Yeah. And we've had to stop and reflect and perhaps spend more time thinking about our faith. Um, and so sometimes life events can help you reset and rethink. And the values of this organization have really impressed me. And you mentioned this earlier, the community of women and women helping women, seeing people that want to help you grow and help you succeed, right? We're also living through a time where there's a great deal of isolation.
Yes.
We were staying at home all these months. I mean, things are reopening and, everyone's in a different place. Some folks are more comfortable than others, but we're starting to go out more to see our families. But even some of those first encounters, right? We're used to like hugging people and kissing people. And, we have this like, have to stay away. We have to wear a mask. We have to, so it's different. And I have found that through, some of the virtual activities that we do together as women to support each other, and then those that you host with your friends or your family, I've been re-engaging with friends, reconnecting with family, reconnecting with folks, being able to talk to them, and then also share sort of this, my new adventure and what I'm working on, and it's been for me. I mean, I have to tell you, and you were there at my virtual grand opening.
Yes.
I cried at my virtual grand opening because these women were talking about, how they met me, how they knew me, the impact I made in their lives, and how they were there now to support me. And sometimes we don't tell each other those things.
We
you know?
don't. And they
So
were from all parts of your life too, which is what impacted me. That it was from like, it spanned like your entire life,
it was fascinating because some of those women have all been in my life at different times, and you try to keep in touch, but you don't keep in touch as regularly, right? Everyone, but for them to have turned out and to have been present for me meant a lot, and for them to say those beautiful things, because whether we realize it or not, this isolation, right, is
It takes a toll.
It takes a toll, right? And sometimes you feel that I don't want to say the word lonely, that might be too big of a word, but you're not spending and socializing, which you need, right, as much with other people. So this has really given me an opportunity to sort of reconnect with old friends, to make some new friends,
Right.
And to feel sort of that community of women and support that's really so important for us, and that now more than ever I think we need, and now more than ever is not as present in our lives as it may have been in the past. So I'm very grateful for that.
I love that because I think, you're also touching upon other things. I think for many people, they start this business, right, for the extra income or the multiple sources of income, which is like a common point. Like I started for that reason 8 years ago, and that's one of the reasons you started now. But then there's also like the additional benefits, right, that you're touching upon that really we don't expect along the way, that do make an impact on us as well.
And it's very rewarding. The other piece that for me has been important has been, I mentioned earlier that service and community is sort of a common thread in everything I've been involved in. And that's important to me. I like to work with purpose.
Yes.
You work with purpose, it's different, right? It's not a job, it's working with purpose. And so for me, I've also been very impressed with the work of the Mary Kay Foundation. And that's important to me. That it's, really supporting domestic violence shelter. It's supporting research for cancers for women. It's a company and organization. It's a business. It's a business that's also giving back, and that's important to me. And I want to make sure I'm aligned. It's aligned to my values. So it's aligned to my values in terms of faith and family, and career, but also service, and that's important for me as well.
I love that you touched upon that, and we had talked a little bit before, but I'm just thinking even outside of our conversation that I love that you identified even already that it's in line with who you are, because I think that when we are aligned with who we are and there's like that common thread in everything in our life, that it just becomes like easier to do. I think also, you know, and you've had a lot of experience in corporate. I mean, for those that don't know you, like you have a lot of experience in corporate, a lot of years. What do you think for you? Like, what has it been like to be like in a retail sales role, and you know how just like the technical aspects of, you know, finding clients and sharing about the products, and tell us a little bit about that.
So it's interesting because as much as I've been involved in all these corporate roles, and I've, you know, been external facing in many of my roles, and it's outside my comfort zone. You know, I'm uncomfortable asking people to help me. I'm great at asking people to help others.
Right.
But when I have to ask for me, it's more difficult for me. And I have found I've been inspired in many ways, because to use again my grand opening as an example, I reached out to women, whether it was through, you know, in friends and family, but whether it was also, you know, whether it was a text message or through Facebook or LinkedIn, or just letting folks know, you know, hey, I'm doing this, join my virtual grand opening. You know, I had to tell people you don't have to buy anything,
Right.
just show up to support me. And I really didn't know what to expect. I mean, we had the virtual grand opening, and in my head I was worried. I was like, oh my God, nobody's gonna show up. I'm so embarrassed. But not only did the women that were able to make it, but so many other women emailed or texted or called, and it was very uplifting and very rewarding. And I found that I've been able to fit Mary Kay into my life, whether it be through, you know, conversations. You know, I have my Mary Kay lookbook I carry with me, and so, you know, or simply I take something out of my makeup bag and I put it on, and someone asks me what color is that. I tell people, you know, I think at first I also kind of was like, am I going to be embarrassed to tell people, because here I am, this sort of corporate executive, and then I'm selling Mary Kay. And again, there's misperceptions about these types of businesses and organizations. But I feel like when you do things with authenticity, you know, I'm using the product, I like the product, I'm enjoying it. So it's authentic. I'm not telling someone buy something because I want you to buy something so that I can make money. I'm telling you, try this. I really like it, and I think you're going to like it too. And they do, and they try it and they like it. And, you know, and I think sometimes they're surprised that they like it. And then the conversation becomes them calling you saying, you know, hey, I really like that. Do you have something for this other thing that I can try, you know? So from that aspect, for me, it was a stretch, and I've enjoyed it. And, you know, sometimes I'm not going to lie, I still kind of think about it like, oh, do I really want to call that person? Do I really want to ask them? You know, you put all these things in your own head, right? You create your own story. But I have to tell you, 99 out of 100 times, it's a positive conversation. By the way, even with women that tell me, you know, I already have my skincare regimen and I'm happy with what I'm doing, that's fine. You know, great, thank you. You know, I'm glad that you have something that you're happy with. I'm not going to, you know, continue to call them about our skincare, but they might want to, you know, try some of the cosmetic products, or they, you know, or they might already have everything they like and want. Use a hand cream, you know, use a hand cream one day, or don't use anything. They still can support me in other ways. They can host a party, they can talk to their friends, they can do different things. And so that's been fun, and it's also alleviated, I guess, some of my hesitation or some of the fear I may have had, because it's been positive. Like, even when people have said no, it's been positive. And it's been growth, and it's been a learning, and they still want to help me. You know, they might not be interested in the product for themselves, but they still want to be supportive, and that's made me feel really good.
I love that you're saying that, because I think, you know, a lot of people don't realize that there are different ways that you can support your consultant, and it's not just by becoming a customer, and, you know, by, you know, it can be by giving referrals and having a virtual beauty session now that we have this virtual world, and there are so many different ways that they can support you. So I love that you said that, you know, and I think there's, for anybody who watches this, who's watching live, we have a few people watching live with us, and also for those that will watch it after, I would just love for you to share, you know, I think sometimes people wonder, you know, can I do this? What would you say to that person who's just sitting there thinking, should I give this a try? Can I do this?
I would say take the risk. When when I make decisions, you kind of put things on a balance, right? And you look at what are the pros and what are the cons, right? So I would say you have so much more to gain than you have to lose. Why not? You know, you're always going to be busy.
Yeah.
So there's never going to be a good time, right? There's always going to be an excuse to think about it later, or maybe I'll do it at another time. But at the end of the day, it's something you can do for you. You know, something, Mari, I didn't share with you is this is a real big milestone year for me. I turned 50 this year.
It's exciting.
It's a big milestone year for me. And, you know, in addition to really like reconnecting with old friends.
Nobody believes you.
No, but trust me, it's true. I haven't met a woman who'll say that she's turning 50 if she isn't, right?
I know.
But it's interesting because I think the other thing this has done for me is also reminded me how important it is for me to take care of myself. And so whether that's me taking care of myself, you know, with my skincare, or, you know, I mean, literally these last few months, I've been putting on a baseball cap and, you know,
right,
comfortable, right? Like the sweatpants and the Zoom call, and you kind of like put a shirt on from here up.
Yeah.
And in the last month, you know, because I purchased products to use because I wanted to be authentic about the products that I was, you know, offering and be able to talk about them and say, I use this. I've been trying them on, you know, and I've realized a difference. You know, I've realized I'm turning 50 and I need to make sure that I continue to take care of myself, and that I'm, you know, taking care of my skin, and that I am putting on, you know, a little bit of lip gloss and you know, looking presentable for those Zoom calls.
Right.
So I have to wear a mask, and you probably
exactly.
have me. You know, I could do something with my eyes and still look interesting and intriguing, you know. But I think for me, it's also it's been positive from that aspect, where I'm spending a little bit more time on me, on my own self sort of pampering, in addition to sharing that with my friends and my family, and they've seen a difference.
Right. I love
that's another great aspect. But I would tell you, if you're thinking about it, stop thinking and start acting, because it doesn't get any better than $30. And when you think about it, we spend $30 on, you know, anything, right? You get a great discount at a store for $30, or you can invest in yourself and start a business and grow and learn and stretch and do something for you.
I love that. And for those of you that are watching, Mary Kay has extended our special eStart kit until September 30th, which we're so grateful for. So it's a $30 decision now. And I think you're right, Rocky. I mean, you know, there's so many reasons to say yes. And I was having we went for a walk this morning with the baby, and I was telling my husband, you know, that just talking to all the women that are starting their business right now, they're impressed by, you know, the multiple sources of income. They're impressed by the community. They're impressed by the culture, all the things that you mentioned. I think those are the things that make Mary Kay stand out. So we invite you to say yes. And we're grateful that you tuned in today. I will say this just as kind of some parting words. You know, there are so many reasons to say yes to this opportunity, but I think none is more important than just the opportunity to invest in yourself and to say yes to you. So many women that I've been speaking to in the last few months, just like Rocky said, what you said, Rocky, about taking time to do something for yourself. And I know many of us are moms, and many of us have significant others, and we have, you know, careers and lives. And I think sometimes, how can Mary Kay serve you? I'll leave you with this question. We'll end here and say, how can Mary Kay serve you in this season? And what can it do for you? Because what I know for sure, I don't know what your outcome will be. I don't know what the results will be of your time in Mary Kay. But what I do know for sure is that the time you spend here will be valuable because of who you will become in the process, because of the women who will be investing in you, and because of this company. And so every woman that comes into our team, if for some reason they leave, I do like a little mini exit interview, and they all have the same thing to say. And that's that they're better because they were a part of Mary Kay. And so I leave you with that, and we'll leave you with that. We're grateful that you're here. Thank you, Rocky, for letting me interview you. I know that you're busy.
No, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. And by the way, and I shared this with you the other day.
Yes.
You never asked me to join.
I know, and I love okay, so thank you for saying that, because I told Rich the other day, I said, you know, sometimes we, even after because that was about a year ago, 7 years in the business, you know, so many times that we prejudge too. We assume that somebody may not be interested, or that maybe their life is complete, or they have everything that they might want and need. And I think so many times, and it's not about us. And the reason why we're extending this opportunity to you and that we're inviting you into our fold is because it's really not about us. And it's about you and how this could serve you. And so when you said that to me, it made a big impact. Last night, I called about 10 women that I probably would not have called about this opportunity if it hadn't been because of that, because you shared that with me. And so we're all better together. And I'm so glad you said yes now, and that you're a part of this. And for all the women that you're bringing in too, because you are growing your team. You had over $1,600 in sales last month, 2 new team members, and on your way to big things in Mary Kay. And so I'm grateful for that too. So we're excited. So thank you for tuning in. We'll be having these every single week. We hope you learned something new, and we're grateful for you. Have a great day.
Thank you.